You know, there are 3 incidents that happened this week. Actually, it's now 4. That's well known. Where people have guns, somebody comes close to their vicinity and they shoot. 1 dies and several are hurt. And why is that? Because of the amount of guns we continue to put on the streets. Again, Republicans are getting folks killed by following the NRA and what they believe in. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Over at Fox News, aside from all of those election falsehoods that are going to continue to keep their lawyers very busy in the months to come, the other BS narrative that they sow daily is one related to crime. One that's not rooted in crime statistics, the actual crime statistics about what's actually going on in the street, but instead to apocalyptic zombie crime waves coming to a town square near you. And it's that fear-mongering, coupled with an absolutist view of the Second Amendment, that is the cultural backdrop for what we are covering here with these 3 horrific stories from just the last week. On Thursday, in Kansas City, Missouri, a story you've all heard at this point, a black teenager named Ralph Yarl asked to pick up his younger brothers. 16-year-old mistakenly goes to the wrong house, rings the doorbell. The white homeowner opens the door and shoots Yarl in the head, and then a second time in the arm after Yarl is already on the ground. That man now facing 2 felony charges, including first-degree assault. Thankfully, Yarl is now recovering at home. Then on Monday in upstate New York, 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis traveling in a car with 3 friends when they mistakenly turned into the wrong driveway, something I do at least 4 times a day. They never got out of the car, and as they were already turning around, a guy stepped out of the house and fired into the car. One of the bullets killed Gillis, and the homeowner has been charged with murder. And finally, last night in Texas, a high school cheerleader mistakenly tried to get into the wrong car in a parking lot, something I also do 5 times a day. When she saw an armed man get out, she got back into her friend's car. And when she rolled down the window to apologize, he fired, critically injuring her and grazing another with a bullet. He has since been charged with deadly conduct. Today on the Senate floor, lead gun control advocate and Democratic Senator Chris Murphy delivered a powerful message and warning about the tragic reality summed up by those 3 stories and so many more.
We are becoming a heavily armed nation, so fearful and angry and hair trigger anxious that gun murders are now just the way in which we work out our frustrations. Cheerleaders don't need to be shot when they walk into the wrong car. Teenagers don't need to be murdered because their music is too loud. Kids shouldn't fear for their life when they go to school or when they pick up their siblings from a house in the neighborhood. We can do better. We can adjust the dials in order to decide not to live in this dystopia.
The party who likes to talk about family values. The party that likes to claim it's the party of life. The party that likes to claim that it supports police officers. Absolutely everything having to do with guns turns that on its head. Police departments have pleaded with politicians not to allow these weapons of war to be sold. Americans have pleaded with their politicians not to allow the unfettered access to guns on the streets. In Florida and Texas, anybody can get a gun. No exercise, no real licensing requirements, no real. You want a gun, you get a gun. You want a concealed weapon. I mean, it is simply a culture of guns, not because it makes anyone safer, but because it makes a select few a whole lot of money. We went in 10 years from 300 million guns to over 400 million guns here in the United States, more guns than we have human beings. And you don't see it. You don't see that countries that don't have the utter volume of guns that we have. That guy destroyed his life because he lost it when some young girls attempted to open his car. Who knows why he lost it? But you know what he had? Easy access to a gun. That criminal 80-year-old guy in Missouri who saw a black kid, and just for being the black kid was shot. And what did a relative or friend of the 80-year-old said? His mind had been polluted by the right-wing stuff he's been consuming. And what did that piece that we just showed show as well? A Fox News that have its people in a frenzy, thinking that people, all these others are coming to get them when there's nothing of the sort. In fact, the people who ought to be scared of others are not those who display any kind of scare. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.